I read this. I didn't read the full article, but I saw the headline, and it was shocking to me. And now this is, I think, from what I understand, this is someone writing into the paper, so it's not necessarily like an article. So I mean, I guess that's good at least. But a big part of why we do this, why I do this podcast, is the Iowa corporate media is so ingrained. It's so like you think like on the federal level, like the fucking the government and the corporate press, and you think they're all intertwined. Holy shit, Iowa, it's like 10 times worse. And unlike in the federal level, like nobody calls it out. Everybody kind of just goes along with it. Like, look, like even like the, no offense to any other podcasters, but like you look at even like the top 40 Des Moines podcasts, and it's all corporate. It's all corporate backed, all state backed, like Iowa Nature, Iowa this. And fine, like I'm not shitting on those podcasts, but like it's corporate messaging. It's the corporate press. It's government messaging, more importantly. And it's not like nobody in those circles are actually going to question these things. And this is like, I see this and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like this, it's asinine to me that somebody could come away from this situation, that everything that's going on with Ian Roberts, the Des Moines public school system, and have nothing but contempt for the people who run this. But not only do they not have that, they have sympathy for them. That is asinine to me. Oh my God. But we're going to get into it, motherfuckers. Des Moines School Board is the victim, not the culprits. What? The people, these poor school board members who make 6 figures a year. Oh my God, they work so hard. They do so much. Oh my, it's such a sob story. They can't lose their job. Oh, and what they're doing is meaningless. Oh, but all these poor teachers. So this is a letter that was written by Gloria Hoffman from Des Moines. And as she reveals in the letter, this is someone who was a 4-term Des Moines school board member. So, obviously, you would be shocked if they had anything negative to say, right? But like, so obviously they're gonna support their fellow cronies. So here's the article. It's short, so we'll just read the whole thing. As a letter, I should say. As a 4-term Des Moines school board member from 1983 to 1995. Oh, 4-term, not 4-year. Oh, wow. So they were in there a minute. Having served as board president twice and having experienced the hiring of Superintendent Gary Wigenink, I can't pronounce that, and the passage of school bond referendum, I have some perspectives to share regarding this current school board issues. First, the Des Moines School Board is the victim, not the culprit, of an ineffective superintendent search process. Most mid to large size schools employ a search firm to verify educational background, employment history, and public records of prospective candidates. Usually, 2 or 3 candidates are then recommended to the board. It is not the role of the board to duplicate the efforts of the search firm, but only to interview the candidates. Okay, let's just pause, because there are already so many things, so many fallacies. Okay, first of all, none of these people who work in the school system, I don't care if you're a teacher, I don't care if you're a superintendent, I don't care if you're a janitor, I don't care if you're the goddamn president of the fucking thing. None of these people are victims. Not a single fucking one. I'm going to say that again. Not a single fucking one of these people is a victim. Okay? These people work for an organization, the public education system, that is not chosen. These people aren't voted in, from what I understand, at least but not from the public. They're not actually chosen. Their jobs aren't actually at risk. I don't care what they get paid. Yes, there's pay disparages, but nobody held a gun to their head and forced them to teach. The children, however, the parents of the children, however, essentially are. They are put into this position where they are forced to put their kids in this public school system, unless they are very wealthy, which is by design, which the only reason that is because of the same public system. And you're really going to sit here and tell me that these people who are making six figures each, oh my God, I saw this article headline and I about lost my shit reading it. I'm like, they're the victims? Are you fucking kidding me? These are the people who see something going on in a classroom and, you know, if they even do anything about it, they will, they won't actually hear any sides. They won't actually, make any critical thinking. Because, education is anti-critical thinking. Everything government is anti-critical thinking. They don't want you to critically think. They have an answer. They have a preordained answer. And they want you to memorize that answer. Don't think about it. Don't ask questions. And these people who are supposedly victims are these same people who perpetuate this system. Look, if you wanted to say that about teachers, you maybe have a case. Still not really. Nobody forced them to do that job, but fine. Teachers aren't paid well, whatever. I can kind of, if I were to take the sympathetic part of my brain and put it to the front, I could kind of understand that. To say this about people who run a school board that make six figures and these are the victims, are you fucking kidding me? And even this person, right? Let's reread this. Usually 2 or 3 candidates are then recommended to the board. It is not the role of the board to duplicate the efforts of the search firm. Because what? You only need to do something once. Why do something twice? I don't know. Maybe because you're forcing fucking kids to sit in a classroom with these people. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you should do it 5 times, 10 times. Maybe 100 times. Because you know what? These people who you're stealing money from through fucking taxation don't have a choice. They would love to be able to do this. If you were, take any parent of these kids, and if you were to tell them hey, pick the people who are going to make the decisions that are going to affect your and your kids' livelihoods, I guarantee you they're going to check at least twice. Unless you're some piece of shit. Any caring parent is going to check at least twice. They're going to find some people and be like, okay, you know what? Let's look at this again. And this is just what's infuriates me. It's all these people are all part of the same system. And they're providing cover for each other. Gloria Hoffman, I don't know anything about this person. The fact that she was in the same role that Ian Roberts was in, it's not surprising that she would use this logic. But Jesus Christ, these people are not victims even in the slightest. Okay, not even remotely. Okay, these are bureaucrats They're stealing all of your taxpayer dollars and putting forth measly, low-level, terrible education. Which, I mean, look, I will say, I've said this a million times, I will say it again. The Department of Education is the most meaningless use of taxpayer dollars. The most. I can wrap my head around the warfare state. I can wrap my head around the police state. I can wrap my head around the goddamn library. Dude, the education system is worthless. You take one of these kids' phones and compare it to the entire Des Moines School Board district, whatever. You compare it to that entire thing, it doesn't even come close. Okay? These people are using basically their personal experience, which, you know, in their mind is superior because, you know, we have important jobs. We're teachers. We have really important jobs. We gotta teach the students. You're not on these kids aren't on a fucking ranch, okay? It's not like they have no knowledge of the world. Okay? They have the skills. They have the skills to figure their own shit out, okay? We have the technology. They have the technology to figure this shit out, right? But no, the education system, they love to paint it as this thing where they're like, oh, these poor kids have nothing and we need to give them something. They all have Grok. They all have ChatGPT. They don't need your stupid ass. Not only do they not need your ass, they don't need their money stolen to give you a fucking job, okay? Victim my ass. Not a single goddamn fucking person who works in the Des Moines public school system is a victim. The students, the parents who are forced into this bullshit, who are forced to pay for this crap where you have a superintendent who wasn't even legal, who didn't even have the correct statuses, who was making $300,000 a fucking year. Those are the culprits. Those are not the victims. Those people, the Ian Roberts people. I'm so mad I can't even keep track of my shit. But look, I mean, these parents are along for the ride. These students are along for the ride. They have no say in their education. They have no say in what happens. Zero. None. Zip. They don't get to vote on who their teacher is. They don't get to, put market pressure on these teachers and say, hey, if you do a dog shit job, you're going to lose your job. None of these people lose their jobs. They all have tenure. All these teachers, if they do a shit job at one school, they just move to another school. It's like teachers are like the most protected fucking class, job class, like in the world, like one of the top. It's so stupid hard is stupidly hard. However I said that. I said that wrong. I know that's not good. That's not a good time to be making grammatical errors. But look, these people are not these people that you are forced to have your teacher learn from, or teach your student. Like, these aren't fucking Einsteins. These aren't geniuses. Okay. This is like some lady who got drunk her entire college fucking experience, barely passed, and now they have the ego and the attitude because they're like, oh, I have all this responsibility. I have all this responsibility as an educator. I these kids and the Grok and the ChatGPT, oh no, they're nothing compared to me. Nothing. I am the way. I am the light. Okay, let's Jesus. I got so mad that I shoved the thing in. Let's keep reading this article. After Ian Roberts was selected, I had two opportunities to hear him speak, and I was impressed with his intelligence, his vitality, and his concern for student education. Had I been a board member, I would have had no reason to question the recommendation. I think that just highlights the problem right there. You had a impression. Have you ever heard of a sociopath? Like, I know that's a big word. I know it's a big word. So let me dumb it down a little bit. Have you heard of crazy people who, are so good at acting like they're normal and that they're sane that it's hard for people to be able to tell that they have bad intentions? That's what a sociopath is. And the fact that you are so dumb that you can't even comprehend, like, oh, hey, maybe the first impression isn't everything. A first impression and a recommendation from a third party, and that's it? That's all? I can't think of a single fucking job. Dude, like, I clean for a living. I've gone through more scrutiny than that to get a fucking job. Are you kidding me? But guys, these people, they want to teach your kids, so they're good people. Second, it is vital for the future of the Des Moines public schools that we vote yes for the school bond referendum. I actually don't know what that is. Maybe they're about to lay out. The resulting plan was not developed by the superintendent nor the school board, but rather by a committee of 80 teachers, administrators, parents, students, and business leaders. Yeah, who do you think outranked among that list? Teachers, administrators, parents, students, and business leaders. Who do you think that was just all equal? Like, really? You're going to tell me that they all equally have voice? The students, minors, their voice was taken into account the same as administrators and business leaders? Are you kidding me? You're really going to try to tell me that? You're really going to, with a straight face, write this and be like, yeah. At the time, computers were just being introduced into the schools. Okay, so maybe this was like... Oh, wait, okay. It has almost been 40 years since voters approved such a measure. At the time, computers were just being introduced into the school system. I wish they had been introduced sooner, just saying, because maybe these people wouldn't exist. The past 4 decades have brought expansive changes in technology and in the skill sets needed in the work world today. The current bond issue will provide the infrastructure technology. I don't even know what this has to do. Oh, is this the vote that's coming up? Okay, so this whole article this is why I should do a better job reading and researching. Beforehand. Because now it just goes into kind of like a... But, it's almost kind of, with that rant that I was just giving, like, it's almost kind of interesting that they would kind of interject the technology thing. Like, oh, this technology that's 100% superior, like 100 million times superior to my job. But we need to help the children navigate. They can't figure it out on their own. They don't have fucking YouTube and Grok and ChatGPT. No, the teachers need to help. We need to still have a job. When you read in between the lines of something like that, that's what they're telling you. I still need my job. I'm not even gonna fathom the idea that the market could dictate that, whether I need a job or not. No, I just need it. We're gonna use this force of education backed by the state, that is the state. We're gonna force this because I need a job. I need my jobby. This is just I've already said enough on it, but I can't even wrap my head around the idea of somebody actually reading an article like that or letter like this, thinking that the Des Moines School Board is the victim and taking it seriously. No, you don't get to blame the people who gave you a list and say they gave us a bad list. It's their fault. It's not my fault. What? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to make my own list? Oh my God, that's so much work. Like any other business ever, any other individual ever having to double check something. Holy fucking shit. That's crazy.